We are live. We are doing our second live. We are doing our second live. This is so dope. Happy that y'all are here. Good evening. What's up, Ivy? What's up, Carmen? On the tizzle. What up? I'm gonna just be yapping tonight. I hope y'all cool with that. I got some things that I want to talk about because I've been cracking up at the thought of a couple of things the last few weeks. Hey, yo, check like my bags is getting crazy. Like allergy season be cooking me, man. But I got something for that. I'm about to get some. Listen, when I blow up, when Comedy Central or Adult Swim or somebody, gets smart enough to partner with me, because I ain't gonna say bye because I don't want to sell my IP. But when one of these places are smart enough, I'm not gonna really change, but there will be signs because these joints gonna be going. I don't know what you got to. I'm trying some little. I ordered some little like these little like pads or whatever that's supposed to be good for them. But I don't think I'm not like a Botox or like a Ozempic kind of person. But when I come back and these joints all smooth, you see me on live and they all smooth and no dark circles, just know that Adult Swim gave me a bag. But other than that, what's up, y'all? I wanted to talk about a couple things this week. I wanted to review this week's episode and talk about next week's episode, as well as talk about some of my favorite not fillers, some of my favorite F-boy bops and some of my favorite stalker bops. What up, Antoinette? It's not fillers on the Tizzle. They got like a thing where it's like, I heard, again, I got to do my research, but I heard they got like a thing where they like drain it. That's not, draining ain't filling. Like filling is something different, right? But they like drain it. So I got to get rid of this. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing when I get rid of my bags. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I mean, it might help if I get a little bit of sleep every once in a while too. Like I never ever really sleep more than like 4 hours, 5 if I'm lucky. But I'm happy that y'all are here. And if you don't mind, could you hit the thumbs up button for me? The thumbs up button, pushes it out to more people, lets them know that we having a good time, let them know that, you know, they should join as well. So if you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up button so we can continue to build the audience, build what we got going on here with Trash the Piece Theater. Just put some tucks, the swelling might go down. The joints I ordered, Carmen, are something like tucks. It's like these little pads that go under the eyes. It's supposed to like be cool and whatever. Um, I want to hear what Bruce got to say about it. This one time when I was in Jerusalem, I went to Palestine with a group of artists and organizers, activists, teachers. It was a really transformative trip. But like I was the last one to leave. So I was there like I think a day and a half or 2 days longer than the rest of the contingency, the rest of the squad. And so when I was there, I was woofing I ain't bring like no clippers or nothing. So I was there for a couple weeks. So my beard and my mustache was all crazy. So I went to this Palestinian barber and I was like, yo, he's like, what do you want? Like, how you want me to do this? And I was like, make it low. He was like, I don't know what you mean. I was like, George Michael. And he gave me like the George Michael 5 o'clock shadow. And number one, you couldn't tell me nothing. I got to find that picture so I can post it. But the angle, I didn't do duck lips, but the angle of the side of my face made it look like I was doing duck lips, like I was getting my Drake on. I posted that joint on Facebook. When I say Bruce called me immediately and was like, yo, bro, you can't come back to North Philly. Take that down. You can't come back to North Philly with no damn duck lips, with no Drake lips. It was the angle. I was not poking my lips out. It was the angle. But I was fly with the George Michael little joint. You couldn't tell me nothing when I was in Jerusalem. I was walking around that joint like I was that boy. Couldn't tell me nothing. So yes, that's what Bruce will have to say about when I get my little eye, whatever I'm getting with my eyes. Bruce is gonna cook me. Tiff is on board with it. Tiff is the one who actually ordered me the little eye joints that's supposed to be coming. So I'm gonna let y'all know how that goes. This ain't like no review or no shit like that for that, but yeah. The episode that I just uploaded on Sunday was a PP5 refurbished episode, as I like to call them. I did a lot of the older episodes. I feel like I can just do them so much better. And on top of that, like I feel like I'm a better writer now. I feel like I'm a better animator now. And now we have different characters. Like I feel like it's good to have like I want to be able to do those old stories with like PP involved in those old stories. So I redid the episode. The very first story I told, like you can scroll back to the very beginning of my videos. The very first story I ever told was the story about I call her Taryn, but that's not her name. Um, and I was giving my phone number to this girl named Shani, which is also not her name. And again, this is what I get because I was never supposed to holler at women at my shows. I that was a rule that I had, and every time I did it, it ended up terrible. So me being the bird that I was, call. I seen her in the hallway. I was like, I shouldn't talk to her, and then she turned around. And I was like, I'm gonna go talk to her. And so we chopped it up. I was doing my little light skin squint activated and whatever. And she took my number. The crazy part is she knew who I was because I lived in Jersey for 2 years. Apparently, we lived in the same apartment complex, and I did not remember her at all. Same age, same apartment complex, same high school we went to. Had no idea who this girl was. Trash. And I get the phone call that weekend, like to come through, and I get to the door, and just like the story about at the Stinger, it wasn't her. It was this Joan named Taryn. It wasn't Shani, and Taryn is ended up being my stalker for about the better part of a decade, like from like MySpace through Facebook, like up until like 2013, from like the MySpace days up until like 2013, 2014 maybe. And yeah, she was a lot. But she had some mental health issues, obviously. And somebody wrote in the comments, like, damn, how many stalkers have you had? 3 officially, not including like exes who were doing the most, but 3 officially. And she was a lot. She was a lot. Somebody also asked whatever happened to Shani. And me and Shani, yeah, we did end up hooking up. Unlike the other story where the girl that I actually gave my number to never called me, Shani actually did call me. And I was skeptical going over to her crib because I'm like, what if it's another joint? Like, how crazy would that be for it to be another joint who overheard me giving my number to somebody? But it was actually her. And here's like the ultimate karma of that. We ended up we got it in. And when I say, bruh, bruh, she she had she was flying off the trapeze. She put her thing down, flipped it, and reversed it. And the crazy part was she moved to Raleigh the next week. I was so irked, man. Like, how you gonna just give me that and then move to Raleigh? But she did that, like, and then we still cool on Facebook. She got like a little family. She was dealing with some. Apparently, it was a thing. Like she was just trying to get it in before she ended up moving to Raleigh with some dude. And so I had to take the. She gonna just put it on me, and then move her ass to Raleigh. I was so salty about that, and I was thinking like, I do be on tour in North Carolina, so yeah, I mean maybe I can. But it's like, nah. I just ended up like, you happy? You got a dude who take care of you. I knew damn well I wasn't gonna try to holler. I wasn't gonna be serious with you. So why mess up like a good situation? So me and Shani did like this is again. This is the end. This is the follow up, the ending of the story that I left out, so that I wanted to leave for the live. We did end up getting it in, but she moved away, and I never seen her. We was cool. We went back and forth every once in a while. She would hit me up and start flirting with me, and I'm like, damn, dude must be in the doghouse. But they still got their family or whatever. Like she hit me up a couple times. I was like, "Yo, get off my phone. You're clearly ovulating. Leave me alone, lady." And it wasn't that I didn't want to talk to her. It just was. I'm not gonna be serious. I wasn't gonna be serious with her. Like you got family now. Like yo, go be with your dude. So the only reason, and the thing that like Taryn only stopped talking to me when she thought that I married Taraji P Henson. I don't even know where that came from. First, she thought I was a pastor. I don't know where that came from because I was a whole ass heathen. I'm like, I'm the last person that's gonna be like a pastor. Like, I have no idea where you got that from. But then out of the blue, she just hit me up like, "Is it true that you married Taraji P Henson?" And my dumb ass was about to be like, what are you talking about? But then I'm like, yup. 100%. We in love. We in love. I'm moving to LA and everything. I'm living in her mansion. We eating caviar and mushrooms. And I was just saying anything so that she wouldn't call me no more. And she still, I wish my phone is right now. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see this or not, but she's still saved in my phone. Her original number is still saved in my phone as don't even think about fucking answering. Let's see if I can pull this joint up real quick. I don't know if this is yeah. I don't know if y'all can see this. Can y'all see that? She's still saving my phone as do not even think about fucking answering. So I'm gonna get to some of your questions. That was just a little follow up. Some people asked it. Some people asked if I had linked up with Shanny, and that was we did link up. We did. Um, I'm gonna get to to Ivy. I'm gonna answer yours first about and also Ivy. Thank you for being a member. Thank you very very much. That means that helps me do the work that I do. So if you're not a member, please consider it. If you're a Patreon member, great. If you're a YouTube member, great. And if you're not, if you just watch and just hit the like button and comment, that's great too. Just letting you know that the people who are Patreon members and members allow me to do the work that I do and try to put out as much content as possible. But I didn't. But I had her blocked, but she kept calling from different numbers, so it just made this is her original number. So it made me. I was like, all right, you're gonna call me from different numbers anyway. Let me make sure that I have this number locked in as your original number. I didn't want to like delete that John, and then years later, I'm expecting a Jersey call from a gig or somebody that I know maybe, and I just wanted to make sure that number. I always have the original number blocked, and that was like her house number. It was like her. It wasn't a cell phone. It was just her like house. She lived like right across the bridge. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get back to. I'm gonna read some of your other questions. Can we get one of those startled shrieks live? Yo, like, okay, so the little scream. I don't know where that I didn't plan on that. I was literally it wasn't scripted. I was like doing I was doing the voiceover, and it just felt like that's what the character would have done in that moment. So this is embarrassing. Only person ever seen me do this is Ish, my sister, aka like the woman actress who is crushing it right now. But I need like a line, so I can't just do it off the cuff. Hold on. I just scared the shit out of Nugget. I don't know what made me start doing that shit. I'm really embarrassed right now. But you asked for it, so you got it. Did you ever see Shanny again? Boom, I did. Shanny, we answered that. Whatever happened to the guy who stole the girl's cat? So there's a story I tell, like, this guy, he's a friend, he was a friend of mine. I guess we're not beefing enough. We're still cool. I just haven't seen him in years. He was a host at Just Words, the original host of Just Words, and he cheated on his girlfriend with his girlfriend's sister, and he stole her cat for whatever reason. He gave her a cat and then stole the cat. Like, you cheated. How you gonna steal the damn cat? I don't know. Like, he hit me up years later and was gonna like try to start he started another venue after Just Words, called Cocoa Butter Lounge, I think it was called, and he like messed with somebody that like gave him some money to start up the event, and he was like messing up the money. So the last I heard is he got put in somebody's trunk and like beat up because he messed up the money. But he ain't died because he called me after that. But like that's the last thing I know of artistically. And then he's ended up stealing somebody's phone. There's a poet on the scene. I ain't gonna say her name because she probably don't want it out there. But he like stole her phone. Like, this your homie. Like, we all cool. We all like colleagues. Why would you like? They had a bar having drinks, and it's literally a picture. Like somebody was saying she left her phone on the bar and she was taking a picture with a couple other artists, and it just so happened that she's like this taking a picture, and in the background is him reaching over to steal the phone. Like, bro, you need to just stop stealing because clearly this ain't working. So I don't know where he at in life. I hope he's doing well. But he cheated on that girl with her sister, stole her cat, and then stole a poet's phone for whatever reason. Boy, he on one. Why do you think you have attracted multiple stalkers? That's a good question. Um, I think with Jane, the Britney Spears stalker, and with Taryn, I don't know if I just come off as like a nice guy. I don't know if it's because I'm an artist. Maybe that's like a safe thing. Because again, both of those happened at like poetry spots. Um, I'm a big dude, so some people say that I'm intimidating. Other people say that I'm like a big like giant, like a gentle giant. So I don't know, but also like I'm not real good with shutting stuff down. Like that's what Tiff is for. Tiff will shut something down quick for me. But I'm not really good at doing that. I got to get better at doing that. So good question. I wish I had a better answer than that. I really do. Um, hey, yeah, I scared the hell out of Nugget. Yes, for the streak. I'm here for the Stalker music. Yo, that this week's soundtrack I was really proud of. Normally I use music from like that either that year or a previous year, like around that time. If it's a 2003 story, I use 2002 or 2003 music, like a song that would have been out at the time. This week I was kind of all over the place, but I just was like finding my Stalker songs. So I think the songs were Dave Hollister, My Favorite Girl, LL, Hey Lover, which isn't really stalkerish, but it is kind of stalkerish. Like last week, I saw you at the mall hanging by the payphone, about to make a call. I don't know, LL. I don't know, bro. That's stalker adjacent. Um, I got the list here somewhere. Hold on, let me pull up the list of the songs that I did. I think I still have it. Um, Full Moon, which is kind of stalkerish, but that's like that Brandy album is crazy. Ready or Not just sounds like Ready or Not, Here I Come, You Can't Hide. I know it's not meant to be a stalker song, but that's kind of stalkery. I was gonna put You Don't Know My Name, but I couldn't. It didn't fit the tone. I had So Gone, Monica, because that joke is stalker too, but YouTube bopped it and was like I couldn't use it. And then of course Jasmine Sullivan's Bust Your Window Out Your Car, and Heather Headley's In My Mind, which was like all stalker bops. So I don't know. Did I miss something? What is your favorite stalker bop? Like there was other songs that were on that I could have used, like Sting's I'll Be every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. Like that's like the ultimate stalker joint. Like that don't get no bigger than that stalker joint. And I'm a big Sting fan. Um, but I couldn't. It didn't really fit. And plus, I figured like YouTube wasn't going to let me use that joint anyway. But I had a list of other like Hello by Lionel Richie. Hello by Lionel Richie is egregious. Egregious. And I love that song. It's egregious. Watch the video. Watch the video. He's first of all, he's like a teacher. And it's not clear whether it's college or high school. And I want to give Lionel Richie the benefit of the doubt and say that it was college. But they had lockers in the school bell. I ain't had no lockers in the school bell in my college. I don't know about y'all, but we ain't have no school bell. But I'm gonna give him the benefit. Like maybe in the 80s they had lockers and school bells in college. But either way, he's like a professor or a teacher, and the love interest is a blind student. And so like he's calling her at night. She's in this like his classroom sculpting, and he's right behind her, like, hello, is it me you're looking for? Bro, what are you doing? You violated all kinds of rules. What are we doing? So that might be, for me, that's the biggest, craziest stalker. So it gotta be Sting and Lionel Richie gotta be fighting for number one, but I'm gonna give it to Lionel Richie because hello, what are we doing, bro? This went through like a whole process. Like a director was like, yes, yes, reach out further for the blind woman who can't see you. Yes, yes, like almost touch her hair, but don't. What are we doing, man? Like that went through like a whole process of artistic people that signed off on that. The 80s was a fever dream, yo. Same thing with this thing song. But let me see. Let's see what's something else. That song by Bobby Caldwell. You talking about What You Want to Do for Love? That John? He ain't die. It's crazy. He talking about caves. She was just 16-year-olds. Leave her alone. I always feel like somebody's watching me. That's a bop, but it's like Stalker on the other side, and I get no privacy. Like, bro, you better move. What's wrong with you? I went to college in the mid 80s and early 90s. Only lockers was in the gym, no bell. See, that's what I'm talking about, John. Lionel Richie was a teacher at a high school and was plotting on his student, which is already crazy. But he was plotting on his blind student and was like calling her home. And she's like, hello, hello. He just on the phone, just staring at it like, why are we so dramatic? What is happening here? What is happening? That song is crazy. And the funny thing is, it's a beautiful song. Like outside of the video, if you can just delete the video out your head, the song is amazing. Like absolute classics. One of my favorite slow songs. One of my favorite ballads. But man, that video is egregious. Orange Juice Jones is crazy. The Rain, and again, that's a bop. And he had it. I think it made the stalking a little less crazy because he made it comedy. Like that song is funny as hell. Like that ending when he just talking to her, like he kicking her out, he taking back his clothes, he speaking pimp talk to her. Like that joint that's one of my favorite videos. It's just, and then he like send her back to the hood at the end. She just walks, she gets off the subway and she just walking around aimless on her way back to the projects because you wanted to be a cheater. So does that, I guess that count as a stalker joint because he is like he basically I guess she walks by on a date and then he like in the cut in the in the store, just like in the little store doorway, just looking to come out, like, he looking at it with his little cigarette, like that's you can't do this and not be a stalker. Like that's just stalker behavior. So I'm gonna give you that one. Yo, I meant to Broken Berlin. This is random. Said question: What was the best or craziest Halloween costumes you ever wore yourself? I meant to post my Halloween joint, man. Let me see if I can. I don't know. I have this Halloween costume where I had to be like maybe 5 or 6. Wearing a C3PO outfit. Like of all the Star Wars characters, why the fuck did my dad put me in C3PO? I have all the characters, but it was like that mask, like that 80s mask that was like a fire hazard and a breathing hazard, like the plastic joint that's like right on your face with a little tiny slit so you can breathe. Like they give no shits about us in the 80s, man. They just had us looking like anything. I could have died in that joint. I have it in my phone somewhere. I'm gonna find that joint and I'm gonna post it to the community page. So feel free to judge me because I would judge me. I definitely have it somewhere. If I had it like readily available, I would pull it up right now. As it stands, I only got a bunch of pictures of Nugget in my phone. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm gonna find it. It's somewhere on my Facebook page or it's somewhere. I'm gonna find that John. That John's crazy. I think that's like the craziest outfit. It's egregious. It's bad. So do we think What You Won't Do for Love is Stalker? What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. I think that's more like it's kind of I don't know. Like, what do we think? Do we think that John is Stalker? I think it's kind of because maybe it is, and I just kind of always looked at it like it was like he was flexing. I don't know. What y'all think? What y'all think about that one? Lying on them didn't think that went through at all. That hot ass death trap. Thank you. Thank you. Have you ever been Shrek? No, I've never been Shrek. Damn it. But I did think about being Hagrid and then using Nugget. I have a dog. I have a big, humongous pit bull. I have like a 80, 90-pound pit bull named Nugget as like my little fang dog. They used to have like a Harry Potter festival up in Philly and Chestnut Hill. But then freaking J.K. Rowling sued them, so now they don't do it. But I was gonna dress up as Hagrid and have Nugget as my dog, But before I could do it, they ended the festival. But that is one thing that I want to do. I want to be Hagrid. I want to be Hagrid for Halloween. I'm gonna do that at some point. Or Harry Potter. I mean, Harry Potter would be crazy. Kids are judgmental, so I'm judging you as a kid for sure. They tried to delete us in the 80s in these 80s playgrounds with top tier danger. Yo, them playgrounds, it was like metal. First of all, you was out there in the sun, you was getting like a 3rd-degree burn. Second of all, if you hit your head, it was curtains. Curtains. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you and I can't let go. Okay, fair. That is You know what? You're right. I'm done. That one line right there is definitely stalkerish. I thought of it like, I guess I was looking at it like I got to think for, like him professing his love. But if she don't want him, that's definitely stalker. Um, there's a poet. There's a poet named Bernard Collins Jr. and he flipped that concept of that song Bobby Caldwell "Do for Love." He turned it into his. It's the wildest thing ever. It's like a poem about how his girlfriend cheated on him with his best friend and they killed him. And he's a ghost haunting them, and that's the song that he uses. Like, I got a thing for you and I can't let go. My friends wonder why, like, what is wrong with me because I'm in the days from your love. You see, like, these are like it's the craziest concept. Like, these ghosts are like talking to him, like, let it go, but he can't. He gotta haunt the people, his girlfriend and his best friend who killed him. And I've never heard. I wish this was online somewhere because I would share it. Like, Bernard Collins is a Philly legend in the poetry community, but he doesn't have anything online. I wish he did because that poem is ridiculous. So whenever I hear that song, I think about two things. One, that every year people, one, Bernard Collins poem. Two is every year there's like a some kind of dialogue that goes on line where people forget that, but well, people don't know that Bobby Caldwell was white. So I always find that really, really funny. Um the slide will burn you, hell yeah. I don't know how we got on, like, oh yeah, we talking about the 80s. Though those playgrounds in the 80s, kids will never know the struggle of that hot ass sliding board baking like silver like like it might as well have been like a pan. You sliding down a silver pan in 90-degree weather because you don't want to be in the house. And if you got some shorts on, man, you got a third-degree burn. But we just thugged it out. You never wanted to be in the house. Bobby was turned out by the brown sugar. I was shook to find out he was a white man. So many people didn't know he was white. So many people didn't know he was white. What's up, L.O? We still got those slides. I feel like they got some plastic joints now too, though. I feel like, they got like little wood chips at the bottom. It was like a hard ass mat and then concrete. And you just took it. You just was like, you know what it is, what it is. We're gonna just thug it out. We gonna thug it out with this ridiculous sliding board. The smell of fire hydrant water, like the that was a big thing. I mean, that was a big thing in like the cities, like getting in the water plug or the fire hydrant. That was a big thing. And somebody put it up like it was great. Somebody just put their ass on the water plug and then water shoot everybody, and then we all running under it. It's so suspect now. Like, yo, put your ass on that fire hydrant so that we can enjoy some nice cool water. So sus. Like, so I think kids would definitely cook you for saying that now. Another thing that another thing I was thinking about this week, I had a good discussion with a friend. Speaking of Halloween, we did like a top 5 Halloween candies, and it was a heated debate. Me and my friend Val had this heated debate, not candy, but like Halloween candy, specifically Halloween candy. Top Halloween candy. It is my contention. It is my contention that Reese cups are number one. Reese cups are number one. I don't care what you put after that, but I had Reese cups number one. What is your favorite? Tell me in the chat, like, what is your favorite? What do you, not even favorite? What's the best? Again, Halloween candy, not candy that you buying at the store. Like, the only, like, it's some candies that we didn't get at Halloween. Like, there's just some candies we didn't get at Halloween. But there was like some that was very specific Halloween candy. So it was my contention that I think my top 5 was Reese cups, number one, Snickers, um, peanut M&Ms, because it gotta be the peanut. The regular Jones was cool. Pretty Mimi, you did not just put candy corn in the chat. You did not just put candy corn in the chat. We would egg somebody's house if they gave us candy corn. Don't you because it wasn't even in no little wrapper. They would just reach their bare hand into a thing and pull out some candy corn and put it in your bag. Your little grubby hands. Get your little grubby hands out of here. You don't want that. It is not. You should get blocked and block her. Block her. All right, listen. if somebody put elephant peanuts and minted, then I probably would block them. But candy corn, no. Candy corn was horrendous. It was like a sugar candle. It was horrendous. It was horrid. Mimi, you know I love you, but that was horrendous. All right, so we got, and again, we're talking number one, like your favorite. What do you think the number one John is? Again, for me, it gotta be Reese Cups. I see raw dog in the candy corn. Exactly, it was raw dog in the candy corn. Loose, give me that loose ass candy. You ain't even, it wasn't even in the bag, it wasn't even in the pack. You the If you say candy corn, and we not, if anybody else say candy corn, I'm gonna just assume they the ops. Like you the feds or something. Like that was like the CIA put candy corn in the hood. That's my contention. Horrendous, awful. Starburst. We did. I think my top 5 was all chocolate, and my friend was talking like, "Yo, you can't have off top 5 all chocolate." I think mine was Reese Cups, Kit Kat, Snickers. If I was gonna put a non-candy, a non-chocolate, it was gonna be Nerds. Nerds was my favorite non-chocolate candy. Like they came in them little the little box, the little square joint. That joint them joints used to hit. And if you bought them in the store, you had the it was like half strawberry, half grape. And if you knew how to do it, you could mix them up real good. Like Nerds was that work. Starburst was cool, but Halloween candy was only 2, and you'd be pissed off if you open that joint up and it's 2 lemons. Like lemon, like the lemon Starburst, you just go in the house because you it's a bad omen. Skittles used to pop. Mr. Good, the little Mr. Good bars used to be good too. Like that, the little somebody put 100 grand, but like the Hershey, that little Hershey pack came with like the Hershey bar, Mr. Good bar, I think 100 grand, and something else was in there too. I forget what it was. Whoppers. Somebody said Whoppers. Whoppers was your favorite. I wouldn't be mad if I got some Whoppers as long like that's something I would have traded, but I would have kept like 1 or 2 of them joints in the bag. Butterfingers used to be lit. I'm missing like see y'all going ham about the about the Three Musketeers. I saw a list of I saw a top 30 list, and Three Musketeers wasn't even on that joint. That was weird. That was bizarre to me. Twix. I see Twix. See Twix twice. Sugar Babies, Sugar Babies was like slept on. Sugar Babies was chilling because you could just have a couple. That whole like a sugar daddy joint. You had a whole joint. Like no, Nowadays we're fire too. Nowadays we're fire. Nowadays we're fire as trick or treat candy and like corner store candy. Because if you only had 10 cent like my broke ass did, them joints was clutch. Candy apple lollipops. That's what I was trying to think of the other day. Blow Pops was the number 1 lollipop, and I wasn't mad at that because Blow Pops did used to hit. But but that's the one I was thinking of. Whatchamacallit? See now, Pretty Mimi, now you redeeming yourself. You went from candy corn to whatchamacallits. Whatchamacallits are definitely slept on. Definitely slept on. Mini peanut chews were really good. I see Twix twice. Bars, dickhead. Bars. I'm trying to like. What did we miss? What did we miss? I seen somebody say almond joy. I like almond flavored things, but I don't like the almond little shredded things. Like I can't rock with them. But I love I mean the little coconut shredded thing, not almond. I can't rock with almond joy because of the coconut. Charleston Chews was popping. Do anybody remember Sweeties? I used to love them little Sweeties, yo. It's like it was like broke. It was like the house that you knew when you was in the hood. If it was like a bunch of places that had like that was giving out Sweeties, they wasn't giving out like the good candy. But Sweeties in that little pack, they was like little pills, like little hockey pucks or whatever, like little tiny, like little like they was like small sweet tarts basically. They was tiny. Them joints used to hit, and we used to pretend like they was like our medicine, and they gave us energy for whatever reason. But I used to love Sweeties. They was my joints. Sour gummy worms is another good one. Skittles, Smarties. That's what it was. I said Sweeties. Smarties. Yeah, Smarties. Smarties was popping. Yo, I used to love them joints. I'm trying to think of what else we had. They like oval pills. We had a bunch of We had a bunch of Jones. We had a bunch. Like the list was not that bad. Um, do y'all have score bars up north? I'm from the south, and we love them here. Okay, Mimi, Mimi, we need to have a conversation, Mimi. Who the fuck eats score bars? We have them, and I never understand. It's my contention that score bars are like Hershey's way to money launder. Because I never see no. It's always Heath bars and score bars. Nobody ever eats them. So that's y'all eat them down south. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna try my best not to judge you, Mimi. But this your second one. You said candy corn and scores. Egregious, egregious. Rolos was good. Like that's We had a good Nunya. Nunya said Alexander the Grape and lemon heads together. I never even tried that together. That sound like the move. But I was talking the other day about how that whole company, it was like they had Boston baked beans, lemon heads, Alexander the Grape, which is grape heads now. It was either Cherry Clan or Cherry Chans. I think it's Cherry Clans though. Mr. Melon, Johnny Apple Seeds, and I said Boston baked beans, lemon heads, Mr. Melon, Alexander the Grape, Red Hots. That's what it was. That's what I'm missing. That whole company, that whole line, A plus, A plus, A plus, A plus. And then our little ratchet asses used to use the box afterwards for a whistle. Pause. That's egregious. I did use the box as a whistle. I can't believe I just said that. Wow. That is the most egregious pause that I think I've ever said. I'll take a moment for that one. And now we're back. Mike and Ike's, yes. And Jolly Joe's. I really can't believe I said that. Wow. Thank God my friends aren't listening. Like none of my like childhood homies. Thank God Mark ain't watching this joint. He would cook me right now. Let me get it. Let me see if he gonna send me a text. I bet if he's watching this. But Mike and Ike's and Jolly Joe's was hitting. I'm trying to think. Did we miss anything? We said Charleston Chews. The double entendres. I hate it. So somebody says zero bars. I don't think zeros were. I've never seen zeros in trick or treat candies. Only in the store, and I was cool with zeros. Like if I wanted some white chocolate, that was cool. The candy necklaces were cool. Jawbreakers. I hated jawbreakers because it just was. Now I'm trying to watch what I say, so that I don't say no more egregious pauses. Cherry Chans, that's what it was. Candy cigarettes, that was another one. That was a good one. And if you from up north, like in the fall or in the winter, you had a candy cigarette when it was cold outside. You had your little cigarette, and then you you exhaled it, and you saw your breath, so it looked like smoke. Like you couldn't tell us nothing. Like I swore I was actually smoking a real cigarette until my older sister Missy saw me do that, and she used to smoke Newports, and she was like, "Yo, we're not." She made sure I've never smoked a cigarette because I always felt like she was gonna catch me. But she seen me doing the little fake candy cigarette thing and smacked the candy cigarette out of my hand and smacked the box out of my hand and took me in the house and gave me a whole lecture about how I should never smoke. Meanwhile, she smoked like a pack a day, but that was her like, dude, like don't be like me. So yeah, I've never smoked this, and anytime I bought a candy cigarette, I was looking around for my older sister Missy, making sure that she wasn't gonna come smack me in the head. So good times. Fish, Swedish fish, another good one. Swedish fish used to pop. Swedish fish were good. Until you got I got to a certain point where it was like these joints is just too crazy. Like these too sweet. Like my teeth ain't feel good afterwards. I had to go brush my teeth immediately. Like, yeah, nah. Vision got us going down memory lane. Lord, yes. That was the whole point of this. Like I wanted to reminisce. And again, Trash Piece Theater is all about, not harping on the past or living in the past, but just discussing some of the things we did as young boys and as young Jones, and what we learned and reflecting. And again, I talked about this in the last live with Trash the Piece. I don't want it to be like, despite growing up in the hood, despite growing up in the crack era, despite a lot of my friends, selling drugs, I don't ever want to focus on that. I want to focus on the good times that we had. Like a lot of my friends, and I mean, shit. Nell went away for a minute. You know, Nell in the series went away. Nell had to sit down for a minute, but I don't think about that. I don't think about that at all. Like I think about what all the good times we had. So I don't want my series to ever be about like the typical hood stuff. Like, and there's no shade to that, but I want to make sure that we're always talking about like the fun, reflective times, even the dumb stuff that we did. You know, reflecting on that. What did we learn? Being able to laugh at ourselves. Like I love being self-deprecating. I love talking. You know, like cooking myself in these episodes. Like how did you even think that was a thing, bro? So yeah, so yes, we are going down memory lane, and we're gonna keep going down memory lane because it's some good times, especially during some crazy days. We need to be able to reflect. What else we got? Oh, you know what was good? The footies, like the Tootsie Rolls that was like the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls, top notch penny candies, top notch candy right there. Them joints used to hit, and then I don't know about where y'all from, but where I'm from, like the little corner store would like sell them and put them in like sandwich bags, and it was like a penny, so 10 you get 10 joints. And then at some point it became 2 cents. I'm like, yo, this inflation is crazy. But we used to have like the little penny candies, and the footy joints used to be so good, man. And it was like a good value. It was like really good value for like such a great candy. Completely slept on. Now and laters. Nah, they not no damn now and laters. If you say now and laters, I'm gonna assume you a cop. It's now laters. Bazooka gum was cool for the first 12 seconds, and then it shit lost all its flavor. So if we got any more Jones, I would throw them into the chat. Oh, you know what? Listen, this wasn't a what's the name? This wasn't like a trick or treat candy, but the first time I bought a Dove candy or the Hershey Symphony, you couldn't tell me I wasn't a bad bitch. You couldn't tell me I wasn't. I had a piece of that Dove, and I was just. You couldn't tell me I wasn't fancy. I should have. I probably ate that joint on my pinky out. That the Dove candy and the Hershey Symphony. I swore I was a bad bitch at that point. I probably was floating through the hood like I was just, be gone, peasants, be gone. I eat Dove now, be gone. Like you couldn't tell me I wasn't that bull when I was eating Dove or that Hershey Symphony. And it's all marketing because it's just Hershey chocolate. But you couldn't tell me I wasn't that dude when I was eating that damn Hershey Symphony and that Dove bar. To this day, if I eat Dove candy, I just still feel like I'm that boy. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I'm that boy. The the Dove dark. I really really love. I like dark chocolate in general. Um, we're gonna unpack that. My therapist would probably love hearing me say that because he knows the dark chocolate, whether it's Candy or Latavia from the damn episode, dark chocolate all day. And I don't that Latavia, boy oh boy, boy oh boy. I don't know what it was. Destiny's Child was like I always thought Beyonce was pretty. I always thought Kelly and Latoya were gorgeous. But I would have kicked a nun down a flight of stairs to get at Latavia. And I mean that with my chest. I had a thing for that damn Latavia. And if I ever see her, I'm running the other way. I'm not shooting my shot. I'm running for my life. Because she gonna have me doing some goofy shit. She would have me doing some. The way that Badu had people dressing all crazy, Latavia would have kryptonite. I wouldn't have anything. Nothing I could do about that. She just had running. Pew out the door. I don't want no problem. I know when I'm beat. I know when I'm pew out the door. You're gonna see a 6'7" flash of light skinnedness running down the street. I don't want no problems with Latavia. But if she trapped me in the corner, I'm gonna just give in because God, she fine as hell, yo. I haven't seen her recent pictures, but I bet you she's still fine. So I feel like that's a good transition into another topic I wanted to talk about. My favorite fuckboy bops. My favorite F-boy bops over the years. And I think we can put the GOAT aside. We could put the GOAT aside. Somebody said, "What happened to Maya?" I love Maya. Maya bad as hell, but and again, I have experience with Maya. Nothing crazy, but an experience with her. I might have fought Wendy that night if that was Latavia. Me and Wendy might have went to blows that night if she did that shit with that. No, we'd have fought fist to cuffs that night if that was Latavia. But transitioning into favorite fuckboy bops of all times, we got to get the GOAT out the way. And the cool part about this, I've referenced him in a Trash to Piece episode. Donnell Jones, the ultimate fuckboy bop ever. Where I want to be. There's nothing that's going to compete with that. Even Nugget agrees, right, buddy? Right, buddy? Even Nugget agrees. The ultimate fuckboy bop, there is none higher, has to be Donnell Jones where I want to be. And I made reference to him in an older episode. And again, the world is crazy. The world is so small because his best friend follows Trash to Piece on Instagram and he sent it to him. And Donnell Jones took it like a champ. Like he was cool. Like he was laughing his ass off. So he sent me the screenshot of like their response. And I didn't want to post it out of out of respect, posting their DM. But yeah, he took it like a champ when I called him like the ultimate fuckboy god. So he has to be number one. Number two, well, that's not good. We don't have to go in any order. But I gotta put John Legend, the first half of John Legend's first album has to go up there. Aisha said Donnell Jones was my crush. Tell your therapist that so that y'all can you need to unpack that. You need to unpack that. If you hear where I want to be and you still think that that's still your crush, you need to unpack that. But I do that song is a bop. And he got some other Jones too. So I'm gonna get to this one. I'm gonna leave L. I'm gonna get to that one. Number two gotta be the John. What's the John Legend John? You can't say I don't love you just because I cheat on you. What? I heard that. I was like, let me write that down and use that later because this back when I was still, you know what I mean? Like, okay, John. And then he followed it up with the John. She don't have to know, like, bruh, like it's a whole cheating bop. Like a whole cheating bop. So I think we gotta throw them. We gotta throw them. Damn, I don't listen to R&B. Nanya, you're not missing it. You're missing a lot. You're missing a lot of great songs. Anything Joe sings, he is the ultimate F boy. And I'm gonna give you. Joe is a different kind. Like Joe is like a different kind of F boy. Like, girl, you don't need your man. I'm gonna do everything for you. Like he a different kind of trash. Like Joe be dirty macking. That's what Joe a dirty macker. Like all the things your man won't do. Bro, mind your business. Okay, I'm trash. Why you gotta be like mind your business? Okay, I'm not treating her right. Why you gotta? That ain't your business. Go somewhere. Like get out of here with that. And I love Joe. Joe Thomas is that bull. But like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Who do that? Like, but it's in the same vein as that LL Hey Lover song, which could also be seen as an F-boy bop. Yay or nay? Hey Lover, F-boy bop, thumbs up, thumbs down. What y'all think about that one? I saw another one that I think I have a hot take about this song. Montel Jordan, Get It On Tonight is crazy. That I personally, I know that it's the other song because this is how we do it is a big song. It's a classic song, but I've always preferred Montel Jordan's Get It On Tonight. Like he's literally with his girl and they about to go to the club. He's like, I don't really feel like going to the club. Like, you go ahead and have fun with your girls. Only so he could be with his side joint. And he in the club, he in a different club with his side joint grinding her up. And he's like, I got a girl, but you look good tonight. Like what? Like, but and it's so melodic. It's such a great song. It's such a great song. So Montel Jordan, Get It On Tonight. You make me want to leave the one I'm with. Oh man, Usher. F-boy anthem. You make me want to leave the one I'm with and start a new relationship with you. It was so soulful and beautiful. And he doing all kinds of moves and Like, you cheating. You can't put choreo to cheating, Usher. What are you doing? But that joke was a bop. That whole album was lit. That whole album was lit. What about SW? What SWV joint you talking about? Um, uh, Confessions 1 and 2. Yeah, Usher got a bunch of F boy songs. A whole bunch of F boy songs. Shaggy Jones was it wasn't me. Is that might be like the number one international F boy song? That might be the international one. Yeah. So okay, cool. We got that one. We getting together a really good list. Babyface started off. We might have to get a list of Dirty Mackin songs. Babyface might be the king of Dirty Mackin. Oh, Escape My Little Secret. I don't know if Candy wrote that, but I would put money that Candy wrote that. I feel like Candy was cheated on all her boyfriends when she was like a teenager and a young adult. Cause she had a whole bunch of joints like that. If you out in the club, don't think I'm not. Leave this man. Why you gotta get your lick back? I can't stand when somebody cheat. Just how you gonna cheat because I cheated? That's dick eating. Like you ain't even original. Like just leave. I can't stand when somebody cheat just because somebody else cheated. Just go, just leave. Don't do that. That's dick eating. I can't stand that. That's so trash. But I'm just saying that's how I used to feel. I don't feel like that now. I feel like you should just leave and just protect your peace. Y'all believe that? Because I didn't even believe when I said that. But that is kind of dicky. And though I don't cheat because I cheated. Get out of here. Just leave. She said she saw me on camera. It wasn't me. Listen, it wasn't me. You see my social security number? It wasn't me. You saw me with my kids? It wasn't me. That's like, listen, it wasn't me. Yeah, Shaggy might, I don't know. Shaggy might have to go number 2. Nobody is beating Donnell Jones. And here's why nobody's beating Donnell Jones as the ultimate F-boy anthem of all time. There's nobody, it can't be done. Because he says, like, again, the whole song is about I need space to see where I want to be. And he got butt naked Jones in the bed, and he just having. This woman went out on one date, and this nigga in the window, sweetly D and all ruining her date. You can't sweetly D after you told her that. You can't be ruining her date with Carl Kanai. But he did it, and he got his girl back. So that's Shaggy was trash, and you saw me, he's trash. But Shaggy wasn't trash and then ruined the date. That's the big thing. So nobody will ever beat Donnell Jones. He got that one down. The ultimate gaslight. I feel like that wasn't gaslighting. It's just, you dicky. And if you're gonna cheat because I'm cheating. You wouldn't even think about cheating until I cheated. How you dicky? Get out of here. You wouldn't even think about cheating before I did it. At least be original. You gonna cheat, do it first. Trash. Jermaine Dupri wrote My Little Secret. Okay. I felt like that was, but it's still Candy coded. That's Candy Burris coded. Who she was another one I had a crush on back in the day, and I didn't even know she had all that cake. If Your Girl Only Knew is also Dirty Mackin'. So we're not gonna put that as an F-boy anthem. It's Dirty Mackin'. We could put a whole Dirty Mackin' list together because somebody put Marvin's Room, and that's also Dirty Mackin'. Like that's a Dirty Mackin' anthem. So we could put together like an ultimate F-boy anthem, and then like a Dirty Mackin' anthem. We could do that because I feel like Babyface would have a bunch of them Jones on there. Also, like ultimate pen. Like again, when people ask me like who my favorite poet is, like I'll name some spoken word poets. I'll name some page poets. I'll name like Pablo Neruda or like I don't know, like the classics. Neruda's probably my favorite. But I typically name also songwriters, Stevie Wonder, Babyface, they're like poets to me. So Babyface pen is crazy, but he was also like King Simp. I don't even use that word, but he got some simping songs. Vision, do you still perform? On occasion. I say I'm semi-retired, meaning that I will still perform. I will still go out and do a gig here and there if I feel like it. But it's not. But I say semi-retired because I do want to get back to it. I have an idea of how I want to tour going forward, and it's very contingent. It's very blended with Trastrophe. So hold on to that. Let's put a pin in that. I'm gonna come back to that later. Saving all my love for you. Are we saying that's we saying that's Dirty Mackin? Oh, what we saying about Whitney Houston? Whitney Houston got any F-boy bops? I don't know. I'm trying to see. Did I miss any? I'm gonna have to hear about this whole you're the one. Creep. Yes, TLC Creep. Did Candy? I think Candy wrote that one. I mean, let's see. Did Candy? Who wrote TLC Creep? Nope, Dallas Austin. I'm just hating. I am just hating on on Candy. I think she wrote every trash anthem that came out of Atlanta. I'm a hater. Okay, it's my bad. My bad, Candy. I'm sorry. I should have cheated. Again, that's just dick eating. Like, it's just dick eating. Like, oh, now you want to cheat. Okay, now you want to cheat. You corny. X Factor, I wouldn't say. I think, man, listen. When X Factor come on, that's one of them songs where everybody's just stop what they doing and sing the most off-key version of that song possible. But man, that John was crazy. And if it's true, like Pretty Mimi says, and she was singing about Wyclef with that John, and then she also did the it's funny how money changes situations. Miscommunication leads to complicated. That's about Wyclef too. You got cooked, bro. You got cooked times 2. So I think Lost Ones. That's the one. Lost Ones. That John was crazy. Yeah. Those are the. I think we probably missing some, and I'm probably not. And if we are missing any of the crazy F-boy bops, please put that John in the comments. Leave it in the comments. I used to do I had a little side series called what did I call that, John? Upon further review, where I like talked about old school songs and like whether they was problematic or something crazy about them, or just making fun of them a little, but not making fun of them in a bad way, but just like, talking about how they may not have aged well. Like I did Positive K, I Got a Man. Like that John, that could not come out today. And the funny thing is I posted it on Instagram and he left a comment. He just was laughing. Like he probably know, like, yeah, I probably couldn't write that joint today. I did Moken stuff. He's mine. You might have had him first, but I got him all the time. Bravo, my kind of woman. Teach workshops. That is, ma'am, thank you. Thank you for your services, Miss Mo or Miss Ken or Miss Steph, whichever one you are. Thank you. That was beautiful. That is just art. It's just art. Hang it in the Louvre. Hang it in the Louvre. That is we need more songs like that. That's right. Boo. She might have had me once, but you got me all the time. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I ain't going nowhere. Trash. Top 5 trash of all time. Gotta be with top 5. I don't even know how we could even classify that. Dirty Mackin would be the King Joe. Oh, yeah, Joe got. If it's not Babyface, it's Joe. If it's not Babyface, it's definitely Joe as the King of Dirty Mackin. Even though Drake would probably be up there too. Drake would definitely try to be up. Drake would definitely be up on that, John. Welcome to Refined Rubbish. Facts. I am indeed refined rubbish. I am indeed refined rubbish. I always say that I'm reformed, refined, and retired. And the retired always has a little asterisk next to it because I will frolic in some bull. I will. I have these moments. I enjoyed that analysis of He's Mine. Yeah, YouTube was cooking me with that joint because I guess I was using too much of the music. So YouTube was flagging that joint like crazy. So that's one of the reasons I stopped doing that side series because YouTube was cooking me. I'm gonna have to pin that. You are the most correct. You are the most correct. I said The Dream. You think that wouldn't the light skinned Libra lies? You think the dream is dirty macking or F boy? Like, let me know, Anne Marie. What do you think? What are we saying for the dream? Um, I think we got a good. I think we feel like a Brent Fayez whole discography. I think we got a good list. We're gonna put together like because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna collect these and put together a playlist and post it on the community page. What happened to Juno Diaz? His writing was in the vein of retire F boy sees the light. Good question. Good question. That's a very good question. I wish I knew the answer, but I don't. But good question. I have to look into it. I had and and I'll put up a poll on. We'll do like a tournament of like Halloween candies and see who's the champ. It's gonna be Reese cups, but we'll see what at least comes in second place. Hi Nugget, am I ignoring you too much? Hi Nugget. Hi. Hello Nugget. I meant to post his picture on the page and I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll do it this week. Do you have any? We can talk about. I saw this one thing, and I want to get y'all opinion on it. There's news coming out of China where you have to be like an expert if you're going to talk about certain topics online. And so if you're going to be an influencer, if you're like a food influencer, or you're like maybe not food influencer, but if you're going to be talking about medicine, you got to have a degree in medicine. If you're going to be talking about health, you got to be certified. So I was wondering I don't know how I felt about that. I don't know how I feel about that. What do y'all think about that? I think that was something I wanted to kind of bring up to folks and have a good discussion about that. Part of me here's the reason why. You got an opinion, Nugget? Can y'all hear him grunting? The dog just grunts all day. And Mimi, I have a pit bull, a 90 pound pit bull who thinks he's a Pomeranian. He's a really good dog though. And he's too big to pick up. I promise you, he's too big. I'll pull up a picture though and show y'all a picture. He is a humongous dog. He would knock all of this shit over. So part of me feels like it's a good thing, specifically about those kind of topics. Because I remember around the time the world shut down, people were giving out like the craziest opinions. And one of them, I ain't gonna say his name. This is a guy I went to school with, and we had English together and we had science. We had science together. We had Miss Robeson and Miss Huff together, and he would cheat off my tests in science, and I was cool with it, whatever. He would cheat off my tests all the time, and you shouldn't be giving out science advice, bro. I'm just saying. You the last person that should be giving out science advice. And people were listening to him like, you're dumb. And I don't really throw that word around a lot. You're dumb. You should not be telling people what is and isn't science, because you used to cheat off me and still I would get an A and you get a C. How you cheat and still get a C? Like, you the last one who should be giving out science advice. So I thought about him immediately when I thought about when I saw this news. But part of me is also like, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have your opinion heard. You can have an opinion about some stuff, but maybe like Nugget, this ain't house party. Stop knocking the damn table. Part of me is like, you shouldn't be silenced, but part of me is like, you shouldn't be giving out like you know what you're talking about. Honestly, how do y'all feel about that? Like, the news just came out this week. I think the Joe Budden podcast talked about it. I think some other podcasts are talking about it. But I feel like for certain topics, like, you should know what the hell you're talking about. You shouldn't just be able to be yapping about it and giving out misinformation. So I gotta see because I couldn't see. Okay, fair enough. That is not the person that was cheating off me, by the way. I don't think he follows. We're friends on Facebook still. I don't think he follows my page. Ironically, the crazy part is this. Damn it, I don't want to put this. Fucking already started it. The crazy part is that this guy is the one I lost. The story about how I lost my virginity by accident. I lost my virginity by accident, and that was his on again, off again girlfriend. So I guess he paid me back for cheating off the test. Everybody wins. You cheat off my test, I got to lose my virginity to your girl. Everybody wins. It's the circle of life. It's the circle of life. Thanks, bro. I got you through science. Your girl got me through anatomy. Everybody wins. But that's a side note. It didn't even occur to me when I wrote that story that was the same dude who was shooting on my test. So thanks, bro. Appreciate you. You're a real one. He was pissed off when he found out too, but he wasn't so pissed off that he was going to approach me. He because he still wanted to cheat off my test, so he couldn't save us so much because he had to get through science. So he had to get the. I think the last year was, I think we had chemistry, maybe. I forget what. I think it was chemistry. He had to get through chemistry. I bagged his John. He got through science. Everybody won. 9 out of 10 doctors age you should brush your teeth. What happens when the 10th doctor wants to run his mouth? What? What? What is happening in his chat? Maybe the answer is giving the "I am not a professional" disclaimer. That happens a lot. That happens a lot on that happens a lot on TikTok. They're like, "I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice." That's fine. I think that should be. I'm fine with that. I don't like the ones who are like giving you advice and they say, "I did all this research." Your research was a bunch of YouTube videos. Relax. Your YouTube videos was your whole research was a bunch of YouTube videos from a bunch of other people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Relax. So I don't know. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. Check. I really don't be knowing what I'm doing with this, John, but we having fun. We are yapping and we're having fun. If you have any questions about this week's episode or any episode, feel free to drop it in the chat. This week's episode is already written and voiced. For those who don't know, like, I'm pretty much the episode that you see on Sunday, I'm working on that John Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But this week's John is already voiced. We did that John last week, me and Ish. We're going back in the studio on Thursday. I think Thursday to knock off a couple more episodes. We've been killing it. I got a little bit of footage from Ish doing her voice, her voiceovers. I should probably be doing a little bit better documenting what we're doing right now. For the longest, I didn't want to be on screen. For those who don't know, like, I had like some serious. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was depression related, but it was also COVID related. I had like serious like anxiety, like social anxiety, particularly. So I was barely leaving the house. I was just like writing, recording, animating, doing everything. And this year I finally started like showing my face again and popping out. So that's why we're doing the lives. Like, I was kind of hiding behind the animation for so long, but I'm going to do a better job for y'all, like documenting the whole process of how I do this, so that y'all can kind of see behind the scenes, specifically if you're a member. But even if you're not, I still want to be able to like be more accessible to y'all, and answer y'all questions. I don't gatekeep a damn thing. This week's episode, what did I do this week? This week's episode, yeah, it's there's an A and a B story again, because I know how much y'all love Tiff and Ryan's stories. So I made sure that it's not difficult to write those stories, but I'm always trying to make sure that the themes, the A story and the B stories match. So I want to make sure that the theme of whatever Ryan is doing at his age of like 14 at the time is going on the same as, as a parallel story, or at least a parallel theme to what me, Bruce, and Nell are doing in the A story. So it's a story about a friend of mine. Like, I had just got this is like post Alicia breakup. Like, I was a whore during that time. I was out of pocket. And Nugget, this is not your time to shine. I love you, bro. I love you. Did y'all hear that? He is disgusting. You trying so hard to be on. But my friend, one of my dad's my dad was in a gang back in the 70s, 21st in Montgomery, Uptown, part of the Valley in North Philly. And one of his like gang member friend, by the way, Bruce, Nell, Stein, Junie, Jabbar, all my friends that I grew up with, they're like the sons of gang members that my dad like that my dad was in the gang with. Like, there was like his gang member compadres or whatever. Like they were all in the same gang. So like literally we've known each other since we were infants because they're the kids of my dad's friends and my dad's, So this one, I'm not gonna say her real name. I call her Sheeta in the story, but her name isn't Sheeta. She was trying to like, she knew that I was like going through it. She knew that I was like crashing out with women. I was just being ridiculously hypersexual. And she went to Penn and she was trying to like hook me up with a couple of her UPenn friends. Like, hey, I know some good girls. I can hook you up. You could basically take your pick. They all really good. They're pretty, blah, blah, blah. But then she had this one friend who, her name is Kennedy in the story, but that's not her real name. I'm not going. I mean, because I'm bad at giving clues on names. She was also problematic, and she was also going through something, and she was fine as hell. And that's the friend that I picked. And we was creeping like crazy. And she had a couple kids. She had just kind of gotten out of a relationship. It was like kind of sketchy. And so this whole thing about my friend catching me with her friend that I wasn't supposed to be doing, like she told me specifically, like, hey, look, I got some good friends over here for you. Don't mess with Kennedy. How you gonna tell me not to do something? That's the first thing I'm gonna do, especially back then. So this whole story about me wanting, like me trying to not get caught with Kennedy. And of course, I ain't gonna give it away, but it gets really, really messy and it's way deeper than this. I don't want to get the story away, but just know that Sunday you in for a ride because I was out of pocket. And then not even out of pocket with dealing with her. Some stuff happened with me and Kennedy that was out of pocket. So that's Sunday's story. Somebody said, are the A, B, and C stories true? You just adjust the time continuum to fit the narrative. That happens a lot. So sometimes everything is like the whole like Ryan story about stealing my clothes. That was a thing. But sometimes so one story may have happened in 2002, the other one may have happened in 2003. So they may not be going on at the same time. But the stories are based, everything is based on a true story. Something that I did, something that Ryan did, something that Tiff did. Like the story about Tiff bringing her first boy home and my dad, having the guns lined out on the table. That was 100% true. Like, but it may not have happened at the same time that I was doing the A story. So that's a good catch. All the stories are true, but they may not always be going on at the same time. I give myself a little bit of space for like some artistic freedom there to make sure that we have a good A and a good B story, but they are all based on a true story. Like again, Ryan did lie and say that he was from Cape Verde in Brazil. Ryan did try to bag this older John and try to use me to like meet the older girl and then throw him the oop with the older woman that was never going to work in the first place. This week's B story actually happened too, but it wasn't around the same time as the whole thing with the whole drama with Sheeta and Kennedy. So good catch. Yeah, she was like, do not screw Kennedy. You can't tell me not to bag a John, because then that's all I'm gonna want to do is bag the John. So yeah. On some other notes, again, feel free to ask questions in the chat. And on another note, like Hollywood is going crazy. John F. Kennedy. That's what I should have called. I should have named it John F. Kennedy. See, now y'all giving me ideas. There was some news this week that had something very much to do with me, but not me directly. So for those who don't know, people keep saying like, yo, why aren't you on Netflix? Why aren't you on Hulu? Why aren't you? And I've tried and I've gotten really good feedback from people, but nobody has bitten. And it sent me into like, I pitched with, you name it, I pitched with them and they just was all like, no, or like, this is cool, but it ain't for us. And it sent me down I got really depressed last year. It's rough hearing no after no after no after no when you have something good. And I ended up getting dropped by my management. So I'm like solo dolo now. And old boy like tried to jack my. Oh, that was this year. My old boy tried to jack my show this year, and it flopped. But the good news that came out of that, sometimes like my prayers are very, very detailed. Like I don't just want to get on. I don't just want to be, on a streaming network or like a TV network. I want to be with the right people. I want to be around the right people. I want to be with people who believe how I believe, who are gonna like fight for this project, who are gonna fight for like the integrity of it to keep it what it is. I don't want to make it anything stupid. I don't want to like dive into cliches. I don't want to do that. So I just kept hearing no after no after no after no. And I did get one yes. Let me say I did get a yes. I got the yes that I wanted. I'll say it. I had a pitch with HBO Max, and that team was like, "Yes, this is amazing. We'll talk. We got to talk some more about this. We're gonna get back with you. We're recommending yes. We got to meet up with the team, but yes, I need to hear more about this." And me and the producers I was dealing with, we was hype. We was like, "Yes, that was the one I wanted." And then the very next week, the entire team got fired. And like you can look this up, like the entire animation department, specifically like the ones who were like pitching new ideas. I forget what it's called. There's a term for that, but I forget the term for like those like for new material coming in. They all got fired. Like the people that I pitched with fired. And I was like, damn, yo, like that shit was like heartbreaking because that was the one I wanted. I wanted to go with HBO Max because I just love HBO programming. I feel like you get so much more freedom to be different on HBO. But everybody else said no. And fast forward a couple years, like what's happening right now in that space, like a bunch of people got fired from CBS the other day, like out of nowhere. Like people are just getting fired, shows are just getting cut, specifically like black shows or urban shows is just being cut, nothing to talk about, and then you lose your IP. So I would have like lost I'd have like lost my IP. I would have lost. Like, I wouldn't be able to do trash your piece for y'all. I wouldn't be able to. My biggest thing is like if it don't work, let's say Adult Swim or somebody is like, hey, we on board, and it don't work after a couple seasons because Hollywood be drawn. Hollywood, like you'll get 1 or 2 seasons, but after that third season, you're supposed to get a bump in pay. So a lot of times you'll see shows that get 2 seasons and it'll end on a cliff note on a cliffhanger, and they won't get a third season because then the production has to go up. Like it's like in the like you got everybody got to get paid more. So that's why you don't see a lot of third seasons. So I didn't want to have something where it's like now I can't do trash the piece on YouTube or on Instagram. Like this is my baby. These are my actual stories. This ain't some stuff I'm just making up. So now I'm like wondering like if this was God's way of protecting me. This was God's way of answering my prayers. Like you don't like while last year, like and to be perfectly blunt, like I had a whole panic attack in the parking lot of Aldi. Like I'm in the Aldi parking lot about to go get something to cook. I had a whole panic attack. Like I'm like tears like streaming down my face. Like I'm hyperventilating. Like just because not like I can't get my way, but it's like y'all work really hard for this. Everybody keep telling me no. My management dropped me out of nowhere. Like it was crazy. So I'm like I have a whole panic attack. I talked to my older brother Paul. He's a really cool dude. But he knew a Philly as hell too. And we talked about it, and we had a whole conversation. I talked to his aunt. We have different dads. I talked to his aunt on his mom on his dad's side, and she kind of really talked me off the ledge because I was ready to quit. I'm like, clearly I'm not talented enough. Clearly, like nobody wants to see this. Clearly, this isn't good enough. So I was about to quit, and she was like, listen, you can quit. You can move down. She lives in Texas. You can move down here. I give you a job. I set you up with a little house or something. And she was like, and you cool. But then she said, and I'll never forget, she said, but I'm gonna just give you a heads up. This is where most people quit. This is where most people put their dream aside. You at a crossroads right now where most people quit. And that really checked me. Cause I was dead ass about the quit. Like this ain't working. I ain't like the money wasn't like I had like, all my money goes back into this. Like I don't like everything goes back into this project. And I'll have no complaints about that, but I just felt like it wasn't gonna work. And she talked me off the ledge. So shout out to her. She was amazing. And fast forward a year. Also, this is around the time where, you know, um, I had got wind that old boy might be trying to do something like my project. So I don't know. It was just really crazy. I'm in such a better place now. So I don't say that to say like I ain't nowhere near that space right now. I love the community that we're building. I love the art that I'm making. So I don't feel stagnant. I don't feel, I ain't worrying about none of that. But I say all that to say like right now, the way that Hollywood is going, who knows if I'd have been caught up in this? Who knows if my project would have gotten bought but never created, just put on a shelf somewhere? Who knows how any of that would have played out? Like with the like, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I thought my prayers weren't being answered, but the whole time they were 100% being answered. It was like, yo, I see something down the road that you don't see. All you see is this thing that you want, but you don't see the traps that are I got completely protected. And at some point, the right is going to land on the right person's table. Somebody is going to want to do this. Somebody is going to want to be on board with the vision that I have, no pun intended. And I'm very much looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'm having fun as hell doing this. I love sharing with y'all. I'm always nervous as hell when I press like publish. I press share, whatever the button is, the last little thing that you hit before it goes live to y'all. But I love that, man. I love reading your comments. I love even like, please feel free to judge, like by all means judge. But I love that. Like it makes me so happy that y'all get so much out of it. Like it's so much, it's a lot of work, but the fact that y'all get so much out of it means the world to me. And at the end of the day, it's gonna land where it's supposed to land. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm cool with that. Like I'm really happy with that. So that was a long ass rant that I ain't even have no intentions on sharing with y'all, but I appreciate that. And I'm gonna read some of y'all questions or some of y'all comments. Um, as a viewer, I can't help but root for you. You do an amazing job of showing character growth. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tony. And that's why I keep up the old episodes too, just to be able to show number one, how far this show has come. And again, I really do believe in building the plane as you fly it. So I don't think that I'm a particularly gifted animator. Like I can't draw for nothing, but I could bring these characters to life. I think I'm a great writer. I think I'm a great storyteller, and I'm becoming a better voice actor. But I see the growth. I see the growth myself, and I appreciate that y'all see it and recognize that as well. Have you thought about Kiki Palmer's platform is specifically for Black creators? The funny thing is, I didn't even know anything about Kiki's platform until I saw the controversy around this is Southern Fried Rice. I didn't even know she had a joint. So I'll look into it though. I'll look into it. But yeah, that controversy is crazy. That's crazy. I hope that she's doing well because I've always liked Kiki Palmer. I gotta know, was the older writer from that story Omar Tyree? Don't say his name. I just want to know. I will not tell you that that was him. I will also not tell you that it wasn't him. Do with that what you want. AI animation. No. I don't. It's no AI animation. This it's a program. I wish I could say like, let me not say I wish I could, because I think AI is I don't want to get into the AI conversation, but it's not AI. It's not AI animation. It's a program that I have to make all the characters move. I have to tie the voices to every character. If the character is walking, I have to make them walk. Like I have to create every character, and I like doing that because I'm a stickler for detail. I like things to look like how it looked, how I remember them looking. So I probably wouldn't want to do AI animation anyway. Um, you got this vision. Thank you. I most certainly do. How it happens might be completely different from what you envision. Keep pushing. Thank you. I lean on people specifically from Philly. Do y'all know Gilly and Wallow? Um, Gilly, I don't really, I know Gilly to see him, and maybe we might know each other to say what's up. But I met Wallow one time backstage at this show I was hosting, and I told him about Trash Your Piece, and he was like gung ho. He was like, "Yo, do that shit tonight. Like, what are you waiting for? Do it." He was so, like helpful and supportive. And again, we don't even know each other like that. But he said something. He was like, "The person that you need to get to where you need to go, you haven't met them yet." And I think about that a lot. And that's one of the reasons that I had to kind of get up out my safe space, and I had to get rid of this social anxiety that developed out of nowhere, because I used to be like a crazy extrovert. Because I can't not want to show my face. I can't not want to meet people. I can't not want to leave the house, but want to have progress. It don't work like that. I gotta meet progress halfway. Bars. I feel like that was bars. You gotta meet progress halfway. I feel like that was bars. Um, Remember us when you make it big. I most certainly will. Like, y'all going with me? What we talking about? We going together. Your test will be your testimony. Keep striving. The right path will reveal itself as its appointed time. The funny thing is, in my prayers, I always say, God, created universe, whatever. Um, Not only show me the path, but like, please help me find the courage in myself to walk it. That's always a part of my prayers. There's nobody in your lane. Carmen, thank you for that. And I believe that too. I always say I'm in my own lane, playing my own game. There's nobody doing what I'm doing right now. I can't think of anybody who has a weekly animated scripted series completely independent. I don't know anybody who does it. And if you do know somebody who does that, please like connect me, because I would love to be able to network with them. But I feel like I don't think anybody's doing what I'm doing. Um Aaron Magruder is one of my is it do duh said, like Aaron Magruder. Aaron Magruder is one of my inspirations, and Boondocks is one of my favorite shows. My ultimate inspiration is Mike Judge. Anybody who knows me knows I'm like the biggest. I've always been the biggest Beavis and Butthead fan since I was like a teenager. But Aaron Magruder is definitely up there. We love watching it. You're awesome. Thank you. Sometimes our setbacks feel like defeat, but most times it's for protection. That's so real, yo. And I feel that. I feel that. Um, it could be me, but I'm also waiting for the episode showing when your character decided to turn things around. It feels like you're building to it. I can tell you when that is. Like, and I don't know if there's gonna be an episode particularly about that. Like maybe toward the end of it, like if when it gets to a network, that might be something that we do as like a finale or something. But when I started really changing is when I started mentoring teenagers. So I was doing poetry, and I was, again, up and down the East Coast to the West Coast every once in a while. I had my little rules about not messing with Jones because it just was. I didn't want to mix business with pleasure. But I turned it around when I started. There's a poet out of Philly named Jess Gregg. Jess Gregg started this thing called Philly Youth Poetry Movement, and me and Greg we were like the young boys on the scene at the time. But what other people, not just us, but we were like young boys on the scene. And at the time in Philly, if you wanted to do poetry, it was like in a lounge or a bar or a club. You had to be 21 or older to get in. And Greg was like, "Yo, teenagers can't get in to like perform." And we knew what that was like because we used to have to sneak in spots. So he started something called Philly Youth Poetry Movement, and he brought me in to be like a mentor to help, not like official staff at first, but just to be like an OG, like an old head to be around. And this one day, Greg and I were at a party, a New Year's Eve party. We're mentoring. We got the kids. We're doing slams and all kinds of cool stuff. But I never forget this one day. Number one, I felt like I needed to be better because I didn't want them to see me as an F boy. I wanted, specific because it's like young women, like young 14, 15, 16-year-old. I want you to be able to look up to me and be honest, because kids have built-in BS detectors. And also I wanted to be a good example for the young men. Like I felt like I was a good artistic example, but I wanted to be a good example as a man. And again, the one day that really stuck out in my mind where I was like, I got to do better. Me and Greg was we were at a New Year's Eve party. This is like Facebook heyday. This is like when Facebook was popping, and we drunk as hell. We drunk as hell at this damn party, and both of us. I don't remember taking a picture, but we both got like solo cups, red solo cups, and we like this in the picture, like. And somebody posted it on Facebook and tagged us in it. And it's like, back in the day on Facebook, if somebody posted your picture and tagged you, and it went automatically to your page, and then everybody else saw it. So all the kids were like, "Oh, y'all lit, look at y'all drunk," and they was cracking up. And I was like, we can't do this no more. We need to be careful about where we are. We need to be careful about the things that we're doing, the way that we're moving as men, the way that we're moving as artists. And in that moment, that was it for me. Like seeing, like them kids seeing me drunk with a solo cup, and I was still a young boy. Like I was way younger than I am now. That was it. That was curtains. Like I got to do better as a man if I'm gonna be around kids. It can't be do as I say, not as I do. If I'm gonna be mentoring children, well, it wasn't like children, but they were like teenagers. I gotta do better. So that's when I started like making sure that I was a better person. Like the work that I was doing, I didn't want to be a hypocrite. I never wanted to be a hypocrite. So and they'll tell you, like, when I first started doing trash reviews, like, they were like adults at that point, but they were like, I would have never guessed this about you because I specifically didn't have this kind of life around y'all for a reason. I wanted to be somebody that y'all could look up to. So that was the big thing for me. That was the big transition. That was like being on some F boy stuff. Womanizing was, I know for a fact that I put 3 women in therapy. That is not a good feeling. At the time, I ain't give a shit, but now I they got to a point where it was like, yo, like, you're hurting good people. Like, I broke this one woman's heart, and I will never do a story about her. I will never say a bad thing about her. If she ever wants to write about me, I always say this: if anybody, specifically her, but if anybody ever wants to tell their side of the story about me, write it, voice it, I'll animate it for you and post it on my page because you deserve it. Um, and I mean that. So if she ever wanted to like say something about me, like, I would be okay with that, because I did her. I didn't cheat on her. It wasn't like that. I ain't cheat on her. I wasn't abusive. I ain't talked to her no kind of way. I just was not present. I just was not present, and some of that was because I knew she was a good woman, and so, like, don't mess this up. But half of my other brain was still looking at other Jones. So it'd be times where I would be mad at her, not for anything that she did, but just mad at her because I can't get other Jones. Like, I was just totally immature, like, not understanding that, like, yo, I got a gift and I messed that up. And I don't really look at people like, the one who got away. And I don't really look at things like that for real, for real. But when that happened, I was like, I got to do better. Like, I know I put a couple people in, and this was like the last straw. Like, before that, I didn't care about like therapy, whatever. Like, this is just the way the game go. But I know for a fact that I put 3 women in therapy. So I'm like, yo, that's not, you gotta be better than that, man. Like, that ain't the kind of man that I want to be. And it doesn't mean that I don't love women. It doesn't mean that I don't want to, that I don't find women beautiful, that I don't still have a crazy libido or anything like that. But you gotta make better decisions. So that was a long ass explanation. I'm sorry, Tony. So I don't know how any of that would fit into Trash Abuse Stories, and maybe they will at some point, or maybe a bigger project. But that right there was like, yo, you gotta do better. You hurt somebody who is amazing. You hurt like a really good person. How do you feel about yourself? That's not okay. That's not okay. So yeah, that. Sorry about that long ass explanation. Um, I've been following you for years. I'm not leaving. Thank you, Ree. Even if you like Montreal better than Toronto, Montreal is my favorite city in the entire world outside of Philly to travel to. I've been there like a dozen times at least. I've been to Toronto maybe like 5, 6 times. I was in Toronto the night during the Drake and Meek beef. I was in Toronto the day that Back to Back dropped. That was not fun to be from Philly and being in Toronto the day that dropped. That was not fun. Y'all let me have it. That was trash. But I also been up there. I've been on every time I've been there, I've been doing poetry. I don't think I've ever came to just chill. I've always been doing poetry. Um, the show was trash. Are you talking about Southern Fried Rice? I haven't seen it. I'm not going to judge it. The year was Stankonia. Hell yeah. For those who don't know, like, the reason why I do the year was Stankonia, or the year was, like some kind of a movie or an album, because if I say the year was 2002, you might remember what you did during 2002. But when I say the year was Usher Confessions, you know what you were doing when that dropped. You know what you were doing when Midnight Marauders dropped, or the Black Album. You know where you were. If you was in the club, you know what songs you was dancing to. So I feel like that thing is a lot better connected to the era. You know where you were at when the first time you saw Waiting to Exhale. Like, you know these things. Years are one thing, but those cultural references, they take you right back and put you in the moment. So I'm glad that y'all like them Jones. As soon as I heard it, I was like, that's Omar Tyree. I have not confirmed whether it was Omar Tyree or not. I'm not saying that it was. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but I'm not saying that it was. Because if I say that it wasn't, y'all gonna narrow it down to another author. I'm not saying who it was. I was thinking if you would use AI from animation, if I think it's necessary. Oh, my bad. Then, again, I'm not anti AI. I think it could be a tool, but I'm so um, detail oriented. That Palmer's got to look like Palmer's. The Stinger got to at least look kind of like the Stinger. Specifically, I was like, I'm very detailed oriented, and I don't know if AI could catch that. Plus, outside of the ethical reasons, watching your videos as an artist, watching your videos is like talking to one of the unks on the scene, storytelling 1,000. You could tell they done it all, but be mad, humble, and regular at the same time. I am proud unk status. I wear my old head OG status on my sleeve. I love that. I love to be able to give game to people. I love to be able to give advice when asked. I love being a mentor, so I received that. Thanks. You're like the new age Bill Cosby when Bill Cosby did Fat Albert. I don't want to get too deep into Bill Cosby, but he was one of my inspirations growing up because we from the same hood. He from North Philly too. So I have thoughts, but I'm gonna leave it at that because he was one of my inspirations when I was little. Do you plan on doing any poetry shows in New York anytime in the near future? Carmen, when I start doing poetry again, I will 100% let y'all know. I have some ideas on how I want to do it. I don't know if I can deliver it the way that I want to deliver it yet. I have ideas on how I want to do Trash the Piece live. I want to go on tour doing Trash the Piece stories. And I have a way that I want to do that. I'm just trying to get to the point where the community is big enough that I can go on tour. Um, the funny thing is my community on Instagram is really big, but my videos on Instagram, if I post on Instagram, it don't do anything. Instagram is just crazy right now. So that's why I'm building heavy on YouTube. And that's why I appreciate so much when y'all share it and when y'all like and when y'all comment, because that helps build the community, makes the community bigger. But I want to take Trash Piece on the road and I have ideas on I want to bring a couple voice actors with me and do the stories live with the music and the lighting and all kinds of cool stuff. I got some ideas for. So when both things happen, both things are going to happen. I will most certainly let you know. I think the struggle to do good generated the most interest. I think the struggle to do good generated the most interesting stories. The characters trying to do good when evil is always present. That's the beauty of. So let me reread that. Tony said, I think the struggle to do good generated the most interesting stories. The character trying to do good when evil is always present. And PP is the evil. That's why I love writing the story so much, because PP is trash. PP is the we all have intrusive thoughts. We all have them. PP is the manifestation of every intrusive thought ever created. And PP is what the devil on your shoulder who is telling you to just do some shit. And why the hell not? Just do it. Who cares? Did you die though? Like PP is just trash. Like trash personified. And so I love writing that because evil is always present. Doing the right thing is difficult, specifically when you're young and your libido humming, them hormones is raging. You know you're supposed to do the right thing, but fuck it. Did you die though? So I appreciate like that. Those are always the best stories for me to write as well. Like trying my best to do the right thing when man doing the wrong thing is so much easier a lot of times, and it's so much more fun a lot of times too. Um I'm glad you okay, I'm sorry that you skipped ahead. My bad. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the questions. Um is Ishka with cheesesteaks really that fire? Who has the best cheesesteaks in Philly? Okay, so Ishka Bibbles, for anybody that's never been to Philly, this is a debate that people would like almost go to war over. The one thing that we do say is that the best steak ain't Gino or Pat's. That's like the tourist stuff. So people are like, who has the best cheesesteaks, Geno's or Pat's? Neither. Neither one of them have the best steaks. So I'm from North Philly. I'm gonna always say Max's or Delisandro's has the best steaks. Ishka Bibbles was our spot when we was downtown. Like Ishka Bibbles was so dope because they were good. They have really good chicken cheesesteaks too. The cheese fries was amazing. You needed a cardiologist after eating them joints, but them joints used to be fire. But the thing about Ishka Bibbles was it was good food and then good views. Like all the joints used to be on South Street. So while you eating your cheesesteak, it's let me ask you real quick, you get to holler at Jones while you eating some good food. So that was like the best part of Ishka Bibbles. And right across the street was Jim's. And Jim's is good too. But Ishka Bibbles was like you could order outside and just watch what was going on, watch the cars go up and down, like go up and down the street, watch some shorties go by. Because a lot of times you caught somebody going the other way, like I'm gonna get her when she come back. Like we just would walk up and down South Street. You might do some shopping, but it was really just like the strip to go hang out. So I'm gonna get that joint when she come back. Order your food, catch her coming back, and she right there. So that was the best part of Ishkabibble's. The food was good, but the best part was like the scenery. If I was just home and I wanted to go get a cheesesteak, I wouldn't go to Ishkabibble's because it was too far. I would go to Max's, which was in the Trap, or Delisandro's, which is in Roxborough, but it still wasn't that far from where I live. Like it's in Henry Avenue. But if you lived uptown, you might say Pagano's or Explorer's Den. If you lived in South Philly, you might say like Gooey Louie's or Tony Luke's. If you lived in West, you might say Jim. So it all depends on kind of where you live. Like each neighborhood had their little neighborhood spot. So you ask where the best cheesesteaks, you're gonna get like 20 different answers. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure. The fuckboy gods bless your personal growth. Amen. Shallow be thy game. The book of Nigalations guides us all. Any crazy New York stories you might tell about in the future? So yes, it's funny that you mentioned that, Darian. I do have a story on the docket about when I almost got robbed in the Bronx. They was trying to rob me hard in the Bronx. It was the craziest night. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I did an interview with her. I gotta figure out. I gotta post that joint. I did an interview with Alicia. I did an interview with my ex-girlfriend from college. And we were like, I don't want to get a story away, but we had a crazy spiritual encounter at a movie theater in Midtown. I think it was like a movie theater in around 42nd Street in New York. It was like 42nd, but right near Times Square, there was a movie theater. And it was like a multi-level movie theater. And something crazy happened in there. And then on the way home, she lives in the Bronx. She lives in South Bronx. She lived in the South Bronx. She lived off like 174th and Longfellow, like around that way. And so we got off at like Freeman, and these dudes was trying to rob us, and she ain't even peep game. But me being from North Philly, like I've seen off the rip. So like they were literally chasing us back to her apartment. So I'll be telling that John. That's on the list. That's on the list. I gotta make sure I'm sure I can write that this week, but that's on the list because I want to get her interview out. I look forward to these weekly because it's dope introspective storytelling in places I know and love. I always appreciate the lessons and dose of nostalgia. The big thing for me with Trasher Piece is not only just telling the stories, but making sure that the lessons land at the end. I always want to have my Doogie Howser moment at the end where I'm like, hey, listen, this is what we did, and this is what we learned. And sometimes I didn't learn anything in the moment, but I learned it as an adult because I then made the same mistake again. But I think that's a big part of growing up. Like again, making dumbass mistakes and then making them again because you're stupid. And it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't do. I shouldn't touch the fire for the third time. So I appreciate you saying that because I don't think I would do this without the reflection at the end when Love Homicide comes on and now we're talking about what happened and like we're recapping it and what did I learn from this and what happened after this. Like that matters to me because I don't want to be glorifying, F-boy stuff. I don't want to do that. Your wordplay is crazy, and I love the ad libs. Thank you. The wordplay stuff kind of comes from again being a poet. So like I love kind of messing around with words, and I'm really good with alliteration. I'm not a good rhymer at all, but my alliteration game is on crazy. So that plays out a lot in the scripts. I'm trying to make sure I got everything. I love the 00647 with the F-boy guys and the panda bears. So I'm gonna. If you haven't watched 00647, that was my side project. They're back. It's back in the videos. If you're new to the channel, I had this dream, right? I had this dream that I was a fuckboy double agent. It was the strangest dream ever. It was so vivid. Like the dream was like I was at like a football game, and I was supposed to be meeting this spy for like the women, like the women's side of my agency was called the Fuckboy Federation. This is a dream I had. This is a dream. I don't know why my brain was on that night. But I was a part of the Fuckboy Federation, and I was supposed to be meeting this agent, and she was an Asian agent for whatever reason. And she was a part of something called the Benevolent Association of Savage Independent Chicks, Basic. So I'm the Fuckboy Federation is meeting this agent from Basic, and it just was the craziest dream. I'm like, yo, I told my friend Danica, and she was like, yo, you need to make this episode. So I ended up making a whole 8-season 8 episode season about 006-7 and the Fuckboy Federation. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. I'm gonna redo it. I feel like I could do it better. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. But like my favorite episode is the Panda Bears, probably. And like the Panda Bears was like, I was like spoofing all these guys who go online and just tell women what they want to hear to sell them stuff. And so like the main Panda Bear was Jarek Daxon. I probably could have been more creative than that, but I mean, what are you gonna do? And King Simile, not Ace Metaphor, it was King Simile. And they were like running something called America's Next Top Coddle, like this whole pander fest where they just pandering the women. So that was a lot of fun, being able to just kind of be a little bit of a douche. My other favorite episode that I created was going back in time to, I supposed to like assassinate the creator of the BBL, because men were going crazy for BBLs in the future. So I wanted to go back in time to like assassinate this guy in Brazil, but he was so nice that I couldn't kill him. And so I made him promise not to like ever do BBLs. So I come back to the future, and oh, by the way, my sidekick was a character named Pick Misha, and the leader of the Fuckboy Federation, of course, was Future. And I come back, and BBLs weren't a thing, but then it was like Congolese cock lifts instead. And the whole idea behind that was like Future's mad as hell. I'm supposed to kill the guy, and I didn't kill him. The whole idea about that was, if as much as men talk trash about BBLs, and I'm not a big proponent of BBLs, if there were like Danish dick lift, it would be dudes going to Denmark to get the surgery. So we got to stop bullshitting about that. Men will 100% be going to do that. So we could talk trash about BBLs all we want to, but if it was like a Bolivian ball lift, guys would be doing it. So cut it out, guys. But it was a lot of fun to kind of make fun of that, to satirize that. I made fun of like not made fun of, but like Fresh and Fit was in it. Like they got kidnapped by Basic, and so I ended up kidnapping Shira 7 and as an exchange for Fresh and Fit. It just was absurd. I really love doing it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm gonna redo it at some point. So if you liked it, cool. I know I can do it better, and I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna re-release 006-7 at some point. Trying to see it was a big cheesesteak debate. I see. I'm gonna skip. There's a few creators kind of in your lane on YouTube. The difference is that your content feels like a grown version. If you're looking for someone to check out, Kurt Ritchie comes to mind. Let me write that joint down now, so that I can check out their stuff. Kurt Ritchie. I really like what's the Ace Vane. I like his stuff too. It's not like, it's a little bit different than what I do. He kind of like spoofs, he like satirizes Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. But it's really dope. I really like his stuff. He's a good writer to like come up with that much ratchet stuff that Fred and Scooby are doing. I like his stuff. It's not quite what I do as a full episode, but I really do like his stuff. I'm glad. See, the funny thing is, I didn't think that anybody liked that joint. I mean, didn't like it, but it didn't really do numbers. So I was kind of like nobody's really watching this joint. So like, I kind of got I guess I got like not intimidated. I kind of got like discouraged from creating it. But I like that joint. I had a lot of fun making 006-7. I'm gonna do it again, and this time I'm gonna do it with a team. I want to sit down with like a writer's room and really flesh out episodes and get other people's input. I had a whole lot of fun doing that series, though. A whole lot of fun. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch 006-7. That joint, I had a lot of fun with that joint. I watched an old interview in which you briefly spoke about a Bryce spinoff. Bryce? Oh, a Bruce spinoff. You talking about a Bruce spinoff? I don't have a Bruce spinoff yet, but I do want to create a Bruce spinoff, if that's what you're saying. So let me know if that's what you were talking about. But I would love to. Bruce is he is by far the funniest person that I know. His birthday was a couple weeks ago. I called him and he just had me dying. Like, Bruce is literally one of the funniest people I know. And I asked him to do an interview, like a little audio interview, John. and I don't think he's gonna do it. He said like maybe, which normally means no for Bruce. But I'm gonna keep chipping away at it. I do know that he watches the show. Um, I do know he watches the show. So I think I caught up with all the questions. Pagano's used to be it back in the day. Pagano's there used to be good as hell. 006'7" gets exposed with the 6'7" meme, putting his life in danger. That's fantastic. I like that concept, specifically since the 6'7" meme originated in Philly from the rapper Skrilla. That is fantastic. If there's no more questions, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna make some clips out of this, John. I appreciate y'all being here. Will you incorporate major current events for the time of the story? That was the whole point of both happy and sad moments. I think you're creative enough to make some really good content surrounding those moments. The whole point of 006'7" was for me to be able to like use current events, kind of how South Park does. South Park has their finger on the pulse of like what's going on in pop culture and current events. So that was kind of like how I wanted to do with 006'7", make it like really like online stuff as well. Like South Park will kind of dabble in some online stuff, like but like the Fresh and Fit thing and the Jarek Daxon thing and Shira 7 and stuff like that. Like I felt like I could do a good job. I'm not like chronically online, but I'm online enough to see what's going on in pop culture online. So that was my way of being able to do current events, whereas Trash Piece focuses on the early 2000s and late 90s. 006'7" was more like really focused on what's happening today. Is it me or did you make one of your characters look like Kanye? That was not on purpose. Nell is not supposed to look like Kanye because Nell looks nothing like Kanye in real life, but now it's too late to kind of change it. But no, that was not my intention to make Nell look like Kanye. It was so good to see you. I'm glad you're back. I'm like y'all. They have no. I'm in such a great place right now. Like my show, I still haven't had a like again. My show still isn't sold. And I'm cool with that. Like I was stressing about that for years. Like, but I think it wasn't supposed to be because had it happened, there wouldn't be no PP. Had it happened, Ryan wouldn't even been in it. Like Ryan wasn't even a part of the series that I was pitching, and neither was PP. Like this, everything was supposed to happen exactly how it's happened. Like that PP character came out of no, like it was just like a creation in my mind. Like I think I told one story about Ryan, or I had like Ryan in one or two stories, and y'all really like the character. So I'm like, well, I can tell. So I got some more Ryan stories. I got them all day. So I think it was supposed to happen exactly like this. Where like two of the like most beloved characters really are Ryan and PP right now, and I love that. So it was supposed to happen exactly how it happened. How was your dad, and what do you think about you recreating this? So my dad doesn't like the stories that I recreate about him. He wasn't happy about the Sade story, and he definitely wasn't happy about the story about when how him and his friends used to use me to bag Johns at the Dell in Philly. But he loves the series, and my dad is the most supportive person that you will ever meet. Like he's never cared what I've done as long as I work hard. That's literally how he is. As long as I work hard, as long as I bust my ass, as long as I'm working towards a goal, he's gonna support me. He don't care what it is. I could wake up tomorrow and be like, "Yo, Pop, I want to work at a car wash." And he's like, "Yo, bust your ass." That's all he cares about. So my dad is like the most supportive person you'll ever meet. He's such a good dude. He's thorough as hell. He doesn't necessarily like when I put him in stories, but he understands it. He understands it. So he's all that to say he's good. He's retired now. He's enjoying his retirement. He's earned his retirement. So he does a lot of bowling and he's in the gym. You can't tell him shit. He in the gym. You can't tell him shit. But he's really good, and I'm really proud. I'm proud of him, and I'm proud to be his dad. Proud to be his son rather. It was good to see you. Glad that's the one I already read. But thank you. It's good to see you too, and it's good to be seen. You truly are an example of turning pain into purpose. That's important to share with others. Definitely. Silencio. That voice, I put up the little. If you haven't seen it, I put up a short on the how I use like what the inspiration I use for Ryan's voice, and Silencio. I always got to make that face when I do Ryan's voice. What do you mean? Come on, Tiff, stop. Oh man, why would you tell Perry? You don't have to tell him. Like I love doing Ryan's voice because I get to do that. I get to do that voice. I get to do the voice that the inspiration of the voice is still very important to me. But, Silencio, Tiff. And then PP is like, oh man, P, what are you gonna do? Oh, dude. Your dad's stories are hilarious. Again, my dad can have his own trash abuse. My dad got 3 kids by 3 women. He can have his own trash abuse. The Japanese metaphor story is a classic fave. I might redo that, John. Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi is what Bo Spector is talking about. Wabi Sabi is the practice, the study, the philosophy of finding beauty in things that are impermanent, imperfect, and incomplete. I just think that was so dope. Like you don't have to be complete or perfect or permanent to be beautiful. I always thought that was just. I'm very grateful for that man. I will forever be grateful for that man, for meeting that man. There's no chance in getting a spinoff about him. Let's put a pin in that. Maybe that might be a thing we can do if Comedy Central comes on board. It might be a thing we can do with that. I might be able to convince him then. Would you ever do your lightning bug poem live for us? Maybe. It wouldn't be tonight. I haven't done it in so long, but yeah, that lightning bug poem, woof. And if I ever redo the lightning bug story, if I ever PP-fy the lightning bug story, I'll put it in the actual story. We do more episodes that include your mom. Maybe. Like the only issue with that is it would have to be like the tater thought years. Like, I call like the younger stories, like, when I'm in middle school and elementary, I call them like my tater thought stories. And that's when I lived with my mom when I was like younger. So if I do when I do tater thought stories, like that's when she's in them Jones. And again, I got a lot of she's a big inspiration on my life, like it's from the music that I like, specifically. Like again, my dad was like hip hop. My mom was like, 80s rock and 70s rock and Hendrix and Beatles and Sting and Phil Collins and stuff like that. But also like the educator. I'm probably like poetry came from her, like from 100%. She always pushed me to be artistic and educated. We appreciate you sharing your stories and part of yourself with us. I love it, man. I love that y'all find it as funny as I do. I'm so glad that I made it to the live. It was great being here. We're gonna try to do some more of these, even if it's like every other week. I'm gonna try to get like a schedule for these joints and have topics and I'm down to break down like some current events and stuff like that. Like do reactions if y'all want to do that. As I get better with like right now, I'm just using a YouTube app, but like when I start really dive into like StreamYard or OBS, like we can like watch clips and like react to them joints. Like that'll probably happen soon if that's what y'all want. Would y'all be interested in like me doing like reactions to like clips like live with y'all? Like that's something that I would absolutely be open to doing. The nostalgia in the stories are classic. AOL is legendary, man. Yup. People talk about Tinder. AOL was shooting fish in a barrel. Only thing more ratchet than AOL might have been Yahoo Chat. I ain't really get on Yahoo Chat too much. Like every once in a while, but AOL was my stomping grounds. Like, man, I used to be so trash. They had to put like you put ASL was age, sex, location. It'd be like, you supposed to put like, 25 male Philadelphia. I used to put like 25 male 6'7", long curly hair, North Philly, college educated. It was a whole dating profile, and dudes used to be mad as shit. But I'm like, yo, you gotta put if you got, women like tall men. I'm gonna put that shit on there. Fuck that. For whatever reason, women like tall men. I ain't make the rules, bro. What do you want from me? So yeah, I used to be in the Philly chat, Aisha. I used to be in again, I was real audacious. I used to always be in this room called Fine Black Men. So audacious. But the cool thing is I'm still friends with a lot of the regulars from that room. The show I did in DC back in August with After Hours, amazing page. But if you don't follow After Hours with Z on Instagram, follow her page for like ridiculously like kink stuff, hilarious. But I know her and her husband since AOL. Like I'm still cool with them to this day. The phone, the the what's the name? The party line was crazy too, but AOL was my stomping grounds. Like that was my thing. That was my thing, yo. Um Let me see if I make sure. Make sure I got all the questions or comments. When we get in Trash Piece the movie, a solid 30 minutes Vision and PP adventure like Brian and Stewie. That's a really good question, Bo. And I don't know if y'all notice. I don't know if y'all notice. For me, getting to 11 minutes was a big thing for me because an 11-minute episode is like a half episode. Like if you watch SpongeBob or Beavis and Butthead, like it's 2 episodes within the 30-minute block, and it's 11 minutes, 22 minutes total because of commercials. So getting to 11 minutes was a big challenge for me in like a good way, because I'm like, I want to be on that same level as them, like being able to create. But if y'all notice, the last couple episodes been like 13. So at some point, the goal will be to get to like 22-minute full episodes. And I am totally open to doing the Vision and PP adventure like Brian and Stewie. That's hilarious. That is so hilarious. But yeah, I want to be able to get to at some point, like it's my goal to make sure that I have 22-minute episodes. And again, if nothing else, just as the challenge to know that I can do it, that I can write a 22-minute episode. Like I know that I can, but right now it's also like, the logistics of being able to animate that. Like that's gonna take a long time to have. So at some point when I have a team, a bigger team, I'll be able to do that. But that's the goal, to be able to write 22-minute episodes for y'all. And if nothing else, to show Hollywood, like, yo, don't y'all ever sleep on me. Like, don't you ever in your life think that I can't do this. Like, I may not have a background in this. I didn't go to school for this. I don't have a network in this. I don't know anybody. I know a couple people in Hollywood. Like I'm grateful to know the people that I do know. But it's not like I didn't grow up in this. So, but don't ever sleep on me. Like, I'm a writer. This is what I do. So at some point that's gonna happen. So if you're noticing it's creeping up, it went from 11. It's like it was around an 8, went to 10, 11, 12. Now we over 13, pushing 14. So we getting there. Do you think you dropped the ball on the girl that was going to college in the middle of South Philly? I think I dropped the ball on a lot of the women I date. I would never say I ain't date good women. Man, I dropped the ball on a lot of Jones, but I just was immature. Like there's a couple Jones I dropped the ball on, like a couple Jones I dropped the ball on. The cool part is I'm still cool with most of them though. Seeing my friends get exposed on Black Planet and early Facebook kept me in line. Yo, thank God that T app wasn't around back then. Thank God that Are We Dating the Same Man Facebook groups wasn't around back then, because I would have been cooked. I was smart enough to date women in different neighborhoods and like different friend groups. Like I was always smart enough to do that. I never dated a John like around where I lived for the most part. I'll have like a joint in Germantown, a joint in West Philly, a joint here. And again, it's not like I was in relationships. Like if I was in relationships, like I was monogamous when I was in relationships, but when I was in the streets, I was in the streets. But then even if I wasn't messy, I'd have been so cooked if it was Are We Dating the Same Men or the T app. I'd have been fried, Joe. So appreciate you, big guy. You may end up blowing up independently like TP did. I'm cool with that. Again, however it happens, I'm just open to however it happens. I'm along for the ride. I'm enjoying the ride. We still beefing with Wendy. Nah, I let it go. You may see a little reference here and there about Wendy. But I let it go. I was asked to let it go, and I didn't do it for that. But I felt like it was time to kind of let it go. Townie Tim. I was definitely, when I went to college, I was definitely Townie Tim. And that was out of respect for my girlfriend. We would break up all the time. We used to break up like a few times per semester. Most of it was on me because I wanted to be a hoe. But sometimes she just would get tired of my shit. Tired of me being, not like, tired of like me doing like cheating or anything like that, but tired of me being an arrogant asshole. And she would just need a break. And I was cool with that because I was going to go down to the mall and bag a Townie. Perfectly fine with that. See you in a couple weeks, boo. Trash. But that's the same woman that I did an interview with her. The funny thing is, she didn't know. She has such a great memory of me. And I'm grateful for that. I was a good boyfriend, but I was also an arrogant asshole. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 exes who hate me. I would bet. I'm actually cool with most of them though. Like at least like, hey, what's up, kind of cool. But it's a couple of them who probably would cross the street if they saw me. I can't think offhand, but I would have. I'm gonna make that assumption. Independent seems to be way more lucrative for us. I think so right now because again the industry is in such like it's such turbulence right now in the industry. So I'm happy where I'm at right now. Any of the bros you mentioned in Trash Beach watch their respective episodes and try to circle the if you remember the episode where I'm trying to say this delicately. Recently somebody tried to spin. It's the episode where she had her girlfriend wanted to fight me. We was creeping. We was out of pocket. But her girlfriend wanted to fight me. And then she ended up staying with her. And I think they broke up recently. And she tried a little spin. But I'm not dating right now, so but if I was spin. But I'm not dating right now. Do you still give your number out loud? I don't give my number out at all right now. I'm not when I say I'm so focused on this, like I can't tell you the last time I've been on it. It's been like years since I've been on a date. Like I really only do this. And my pop gets on me about that. Like he gets on me about that. Like he doesn't like that I'm just so focused on work and so focused on. And again, this isn't really work for me. It's because I love doing it, so it's not really work. But my pop always gets on me about that. Like if I end up going to like, I forgot to mention this. I joined a podcast. It's a podcast that it's a podcast in Philly called the it's a brother in Philly doing a podcast called The Old Heads, and I saw like the advertisement. I'm like, I want to do that, and I shot a couple episodes, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I've done 2 episodes so far. They haven't been uploaded yet, and when they do upload, I'll make sure I'm going to upload them to this page as well. But it was a lot of fun. So I joined it. So now that I'm doing a podcast. I'm not working in my home office as much. I'm working out of Rec Philly. So yeah, I'm outside a little bit more, but I'm not dating at all. Like I'm not giving my number to nobody because I'm staying focused. We locked in. He says spin with the light skin squint. I did not light skin squint when I spun my head. Don't do that. I did not do that. Did I do that? If I did that, that was muscle memory. If I did that, that was muscle. I did not do that on purpose. It was muscle memory. Do you have any tips for an aspiring voice actor, like a beginner? Your mic is everything. Your mic is everything. Again, I don't particularly look at myself as a gifted voice actor, but I just love doing it. Number one, get a good mic, and and that doesn't mean expensive. Like everybody uses Shure mics. That's what I have. I have a Shure mic. SHURE. Get a good mic, and then build the plane as you fly it. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to wait for the moment where you're like you feel like you're great. Like nah, be brave enough to not be good. Be brave enough to understand you may need to get better. Be brave enough to take chances. Because that's how I did it. I didn't. It's all kinds of videos and stuff on YouTube you could watch, but just do it. Get you a good mic and just have fun with your voice. You know what I mean? Like have fun creating characters. Again, I didn't know when I don't even know where the PP I don't even know where the PP voice came from. I have no idea why I started using this voice for PP, but here we are. Use what you know, have fun with it. You know a bunch of people. You may know people with really cool voices that you've mimicked over the years. Play into that as well. So, but just get a good mic and have fun. That would be my only advice for a beginner. Just do it. Don't wait. Don't try to be perfect. Don't be because you're just gonna talk yourself out of it. Just do it. Take chances. Have fun with it. You indeed squinted. I did not. You definitely activated the light skin. I did not on purpose. I say I gotta do this next time. Wide open, look crazy. I did not do that. Stop. PP sounds like an angry truck driver. I think PP's voice was more like opposite of mine. Like I always wish I had like a deeper voice or a more raspy voice to be as big as I am. So I think because PP is so opposite of me, like I think that's where that's kind of what I was looking into. Like that's where this comes from. Cause I mean, maybe I should talk like this in real life, but I mean, like that's just an insane voice. But did you die? So I get to have a lot of fun with PP, especially writing PP. Sometimes I read what I wrote. I'm like, yo, this is awful. Like you are a terrible person, PP. And then I gotta like separate myself from PP because I'm like, if I wrote this, that means I'm terrible too. So yeah, I kind of play off PP's voice with that. Again, Tiff's voice because Tiff doesn't have like a deep voice, but she has like a very commanding voice, like to be so soft spoken. Um, so yeah, I just love. I'm having so much fun doing voices right now. Um, if there's no more questions, if I got any more questions before we wrap, if not, new episode this week. You know, new episode Sunday, new episode every Sunday is God willing every Sunday. New shorts during the week. I'm gonna try to put out some more like in during the week content. If you haven't watched it, if you're a member or a patron, I'm putting up there's these academic breakdowns of Trash a Piece, and it's really funny because it's these super kind of white voices talking about PP. It's really funny. Um, but I might upload something free Jones too, just so that y'all can see what this is. It's called NPR North Philly Review or North Philly Ratchet by Brooks and Blythe, Brooks Hollinger and Blythe. I forget Blythe's last name, but I have a lot of fun with those. Are like a lot of fun to hear, like the academic breakdown of the themes of the show. So that goes up. And yo, like this John, share this John, comment, drop a comment. Continue to share Trash the Piece if you're on any forums. If you're in the Facebook groups or group chats, share this John. I want to be able to build out as much as possible so that we can continue to have an amazing community and get this John in front of the people that should see it. Like I'm confident that I love this show. I'm a fan of my own show. Like I laugh my ass off watching this. So and I wanted to kind of get to a bigger community as organically as possible. So thank you. Um, would you ever bring back the gods like Future and Derek Jackson? Like probably only in 006 for 7. But it's Jarek Daxon. It's Jarek Daxon in 006 for 7. Jarek. Cause I don't know, boy. I know he does poetry too. So we kind of in the same circles, and he running the same circle as somebody who used to be my friend. So I don't know, boy. So I don't got no hate against the boy, but I had to get him as a panda bear. So I don't know. I'm gonna check out Nugget looking at me because I've been ignoring them for the last 2 hours and 12 minutes. But thank y'all for being here. I may do one next week, or I may try to go live from the studio with Ish if she's down. Maybe like a quick little live John. If I can find a way to set it up and just y'all can see how the process is done. But if not, every other week rather. And thank y'all for being here, and I will talk to y'all soon.